Hey guys, Grifton here, and today we're going to be discussing my gold preparation for Wrath of the Lich King Classic. Now, before we get started, please take the time to like and subscribe as it really does help me out. So, with Wrath right on the corner, we need to start saving gold, but what do we need and how much is it? Well, for a Feral Druid, the list is pretty straightforward, so I thought I'd share mine. Now, keep in mind, this is with me going as a cat/bear talent specialization, which I think will be the most common Feral combo. Feral Cat becomes a better pumper, and with other tanks slightly outshining Feral Tank, it will likely be my secondary spec, as I do like to tank but understand the reality of meta addiction. So let's get into it. And now, there is no right or wrong answer to how much gold you need. The first time I walked into Wrath 15 plus years ago, my druid had less than 1,000 gold and I did just fine. However, if you're hoping to get all the handy things you need to get into heroics and raids fast, gold is going to be very helpful, and I'm going to quickly break down what I want to buy and how much I plan to save. So first, let's talk about the essentials. So we have dual talent specialization and cold weather flying. I think everyone should have the 2,000 gold put aside to get these two items. Now, one you'll be able to get pre-patch, but the other, cold weather flying, you won't be able to purchase until 77. Now, if you haven't already purchased epic flying, you will want to do this ASAP. The price isn't dropping, so invest the 5k now. However, I will point out that you don't actually need epic flying to get cold weather flying. But trust me, when you're out there without epic, you'll feel it, because it is an epic flying world. Okay, next up we have the Ring of Kirin, or what most people just call the Dalaran ring, because it lets you port to Dalaran. This ring is very handy, and arguably even more handy since it looks like we won't have an insta-port to our dungeons, so having two hearths will be invaluable. This ring by itself is nice, but it can also be upgraded just like the Violet Signet ring from Kara. However, the upgrade is at a cost of gold. Now, the initial price is 8,500, but with Exalted Rep you can break it down to 6,800. And each upgrade will cost you 1,000 to 1,250 gold more depending on your rep at the time. There is a ring for every spec, and in the past you could wear two different tiers, but they may prevent that, so don't assume you can if you plan to, and if you can, the hearth will share a cooldown, so you don't get an extra hearth just for wearing two rings. Okay, next we have BOE gear. Now this next chunk is definitely optional, but if you're looking to get into Nax as quickly as possible, grabbing a few items off the auction house will help you out a lot. Some items would include Troll Woven Shoulders, Wrist Wraps of the Cutthroat, Titanium Impact Choker, to name a few. Now if you happen to have the patterns, consider crafting and selling them, as this could help you buy other BOEs that you can't craft on your own. Now before you think I left out the big guy, I didn't. I just put him on his own category, and that is of course the Dark Moon card Greatness. This thing is going to be very expensive for the first couple of weeks and likely will slowly trickle down in price once more people get their inscription up. Even then, it won't likely drop much below 5k gold, and many that I've talked to say even that price might be a dream. Now I put 15,000 gold as an estimate of a week 2 or 3 price, but depending on your server you may see it go up for 50k gold or more. So if you really want this, have a lot of gold ready to spend. This trinket is just that good. Alright, last on the list is this Mammoth mount, Traveler's Tundra Mammoth. And if you remember it, you know exactly why someone would want to spend 20k on a mount. It lets you repair, restock reagents, food, and water, and you can carry 2 passengers. Most guilds have one guy that has this. You know who that guy is. He's the oiler that has every mount under the sun. They are very handy, but very low on the list of priorities for most people. So if you're rich, sure, but if not, you'll survive just fine without this. Okay, now that I broke down rough estimates of costs, I'm going to tell you what I'm personally taking, and that is 20k gold. Yes, I will come up short on some BOEs, but I will be getting the essentials and a really nice ring that gives me an extra hearth, and maybe I'll get lucky and find a Dark Moon card for 10k. If I'm able to save more, I will, but having the goal of 20k is a healthy one and not an easy one to achieve. I hope this video gave you some insight into what you'll want to save for in Wrath. Keep an eye out for some more videos talking about how I'm preparing for Wrath, and as always guys, take care.